Alright, so now let's debug this. So we'll start with setting a breakpoint. And I'll click the debug icon in the top right corner. So what's going to happen here is P is going to point to strtok. So what's going to happen is it's going to say, okay, we'll get the first token of the string A, right? We have the token of the string A here, and which continues until the space or the delimiter. So the space is going to be here. So on its first iteration, P is not going to be pointing to null because it's going to be pointing to this token here, the first part of the string, the first token of the string, I guess, and then it's going to print it out. Then when we call null, usually you would think that it's just pointing to null, but there's a funny kind of way this function works, is that if you call the string token function again after it's been called the first time, where the null is the first argument or parameter, then it's going to know that the first part has already been called. Then it's going to start at the second part after the delimiter and continue until the delimiter. So it's going to then print out line. Whoops, we got our bracket down here. And that's going to continue, loop around, and it's going to keep doing that over and over again until eventually it's going to print null. So that's what's going to happen, I believe. So we'll just step over this breakpoint here. So we can see we have our character array, which points to our string here. This line has 5 spelled wrong. Maybe I'll just stop that. Re-debug it so I don't confuse anyone. So this line has 5 different words. If we step over that, that should be contained in our string here, or in our character array. And then there should be a null at the end. To terminate the string, there's always like a imaginary null at the end of the string, I believe. So then we'll step over. So we had our character pointer variable that got skipped because it was not initialized, just declared, I guess. Then we printf what happened with that console? I think I accidentally messed with these settings when I was trying to get the program to print out properly. Where did that go? Debug. Should have got printed out, because printf %s null on n, passing an a. I think it might have been me, but when I tested it, it did work after. Let me just stop that. Actually, I'll click debug, and then I'm gonna. You guys can do this too if you want. So click the. I don't know if you can see this, but just click the settings icon. Modify run configurations. And then I don't think you can see this window because it's Windows Recorder. Take the checkbox run in external console, hit apply, and then OK. Re-debug it. Stop and then re-debug. There should be a window somewhere. Is that it? Okay, yeah, that's a tiny window. Usually it's bigger. So if we printf, it should get printed to the window. Okay, there you go. So now we can see it. Hopefully you can too. This line has 5 different words. It got displayed to that external window you guys can't see because it's another window on my screen. So the Windows Recorder only records one window at a time, stupidly enough. So this line has 5 different words, and then P points to strtok A, comma, and then space, void space. So as you can see in our local variables, as I mentioned, it then points to the first token of the string, this. Then we have while P does not equal to null. So P is not equal to null because it points to the string this. So it should enter the loop when we step in, when we click the step into button. Then it should printf P. It should printf this to the external window once we hit step over. So this, and then P points to strtok, passing in null, and then the white space again. So what's going to happen again, if you guys didn't understand, is that it's going to, since we passed in null as the first parameter after it's been called once already, then automatically the function knows to go to the next token after the first one already has been retrieved. So P should now point to line if we step over. See, as you can see, it points to line. And we'll step in, print out line to the